Rated T for Teen.
Sierra Entertainment proudly presents Empire Earth 3. Experience 3 unique factions: the West, the Mideast, the Far East, and introducing the New World Domination Mode. Keep the spoils of war as you build your empire across a realistically rendered Earth. Visit EmpireEarth.com. Empire Earth 3, available now for the PC.
Wait, drum solo.
Woo! What is this, anyways? I know it's a drum set, but why is it making sounds?
Dude, I found this
acoustically?
awesome program. Check it out. We can make it all congas.
Okay. Can you play some Phil Collins?
You
The
can.
Air of Night. Then he's like, I remember people drive like this. Nelson drives like this. I like it.
I don't wanna go to work today. Wanna stay home and play all my video games on the One Up Show. You know you'll be a star on the One Up Show. You already are. Every day, this life's a holiday. One up, 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 one up on the One Up Show. One up, 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 one up on the One Up Show.
The first thing to talk about is the music, which is
Well-
really, really inexorable. It will get in your head,
Yet.
and it will never leave.
Yeah, this is not a music game.
You can't play the game without like constantly making music.
But is this music you would actually want to listen to on its own? Not really.
Well, it's like war drums. You're beating this rhythm to make your little Patapon army march and fight. I mean, it's simple. It's like rock, paper, scissors when you're actually like in a battle, but you constantly have to keep this rhythm going.
Yeah, and if you lose your combo by messing up, it can really destroy a battle.
Right. If you hit the button like right on the beat, you'll get to your what's called fever, like the combo thing.
Oh, yeah.
You'll get to it like
You-
sooner.
When it really gets going, when you're doing lots of combos and all your Patapon are freaking out and singing along and you're killing bosses, like that's when you really get into it. And the music, like it's just this like cacophony of like chirping and quacking Patapon saying crazy shit, and it's weirdly invigorating.
And it's like the voices are like, they're too weird to like actually memorize what they're saying. So just these little like chirps.
I think they are memorable, and like that's why
Except for the one that says,
Jen was always like, I hate the one who says papaya. I think it's cute and like it sticks with me. And like between every level, when you go back to your little like home base with Patopolis, your house,
yeah.
which keeps expanding as you play.
Yeah.
It's fun to like talk to little Patapon and see what they're doing. And
You unlock these kind of little rhythm mini games, and if you nail this game, you can upgrade this item and take it eventually to like the end. Like you'll unlock which I won't spoil, but then gets you really good items.
There is a lot of tactical stuff going on here, down to if you have the wrong guys in the front of your little troop alignment, you may fail at a battle that if you just move some stuff around, you'll do much better on. And
Yeah, and if you save up like the best items you get in level until you have the 2 best and create a new Patapon out of that, that guy will raise the stats of his whole section of them, and that can make like a huge difference in your armies.
do not spend your money on the cheap little like initial upgrades that you might make.
Yeah, it's much better to have like 2 really badass guys than like a bunch of kind of middling guys.
The world map is very small, and there are keep going back to certain levels because new events will happen there. You have to fight bosses multiple times, and the repetition can get to people. I understand, like, people are going to see the high scores and be like, there's not much to this game, you have to play the same levels over and over again, but it is exciting and it is interesting.
I think the game like is its difficulty curve. I played the old bosses like 10 or 15 times by the end of the game, having to go back and get new items and build up your army and mix your like strategy with the new little like rhythms and commands you're unlocking. Like makes it so every level you get to, especially as the game goes on, is different really, and it's not just this kind of repetitive rhythm game.
At the beginning, they give you no visual cues really as to like the health of the boss, or you get a few cues about how your troops are doing, but not very specific ones.
You'll see when they're going to deliver their big attack, because the time right before he'll like do a little move and you're like, crap, I better pull back.
You have to get the retreat move in when you have the chance. Because
Yeah.
if you miss it, you may
You have
just
to be like
lose
almost
a
a
couple
turn
guys.
ahead all the time. If you nail the boss with a bunch of attacks and just keep hitting him, you'll stun him and interrupt his attack. So there's also this kind of risk-reward thing where it's like, do I want to just pile on my attacks and hope that I'll stun him and so he won't hit me and get some more damage in? Or do I want to like pull back and really play and like stretch it out to this long kind of defensive game?
One of the things that I think makes it harder than it needs to be is the lack of any sort of explanation at all.
I found that
mean,
surprising because like you expect in modern games people's hands to be held, and like pretty soon into this game, the rain song, you have to get this rain dance song. I think a lot of people won't be able to figure that out.
You can even have clues of what you're supposed to do and try several different things and fail to get it, and then know like, I know I need this, but what am I supposed to do? When I was looking for some kind of guidance, when I was like, what am I supposed to do? How do I do what I'm trying to do? I can't figure it out. And all I would get were these nonsensical little mumblings from my little tribal Patapon. I was just like, shut up, I don't care about your cute little mumblings. I want directions on what to do next.
It's very funny and very clever, and the things like little word bubbles that pop up that your Patapon say, that your enemies say, they're very irreverent and clever and funny. Your Patapon treat you like God, but then they see the enemies, they're like, oh shit, like we're out of here.
There's sort of a problem with the economy in the game. It's pretty much broken. You end up with so much stuff and no money, and
You can't sell your stuff.
You can't sell things, and to upgrade your troops is so expensive, but you have to upgrade your troops to proceed in the game. So you get to a point where I am, where you kind of like need more guys, and in order to get enough money, you have to replay levels so many times.
You have to go back and farm to get gold.
Yeah, that it's just, and that's where the song becomes like maddening. Like,
It would also be nice if there's some sort of consolation for losing a battle, especially when you like, because a lot of the items that pop out of bad guys are random, so you'll be like, sweet, I got the super cedar tree, the best tree to like the best material, and then you'll like die at the end of the battle and you're like, not only did I die, but I lost the super cedar and 20 minutes of my life are gone.
maybe people are gonna hate me for saying this, but I feel like it's on the wrong system. Like, it should not have been on a portable system.
You can't pause, you have to be actually listening to what you're doing the whole time. I mean, I was like trying to like listen to a podcast while I was playing, just can't do it. You have to be completely focused on what you're doing. I'd like to see it on like PSN as a downloadable thing. That'd be nice. And it is only $20 too, which is fantastic.
It's such a weird game, and like in my review I say it's like a bait and switch, because I thought it was a rhythm action game, and then I thought it was like Loco Roco, and it's really not like either of those things. It is a serious, like deep strategy tactical game.
The rhythm is just like an underlying fuel to the action, and like very few rhythm action games do that.
The visuals are just kind of like this invitation, but it's like once you get into it, there is like a lot to do and sink your teeth into.
Bring me a soda. Bring me a soda.
Can you cut that out, please?
Okay.
It's fucking annoying.
Bring me a soda. Bring me a soda. Bring me a soda.
Dude, will you shut the fuck up? That shit's not gonna work, alright?
I'm sorry.
Bring me a soda. Bring me a soda. Bring me.
Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson.
Rated T for Teen.
Sierra Entertainment proudly presents Empire Earth 3. Experience 3 unique factions: the West, the Mideast, the Far East, and introducing the new World Domination Mode. Keep the spoils of war as you build your empire across a realistically rendered Earth. Visit EmpireEarth.com. Empire Earth 3, available now for the PC.
So you like the dragon swords?
I
the
do.
Ninja Gaidens?
Yeah. Well, I like the concept of just kind of drawing to.
Had you
fight
played it
against
before they brought the latest
No, I was
version?
kind of
out?
like I had seen it a bunch of times. Like I was watching people play it at TGS, but I didn't have time to wait through the lines and stuff like that. So when I finally got to play it when they came by, I was kind of excited because like I was still interested to see how it felt. Because most people are like, oh yeah, like making a strike is really easy. I'm like, okay, I want to see that. I want to feel it. Like you can't really believe it until you try it yourself.
Here's my thing. It's a real game for the DS. It's not some mini game. It's not some old rehash of something we played 5 years ago. It's a real brand new Ninja Gaiden for the DS, designed specifically for this system, with every feature in mind. You hold it like the brain. It's like a book. All the controls are super easy, really intuitive. I'm not the biggest portable fan in the whole world, but I really enjoyed this game.
I remember when Itagaki was first telling me about this game that he said that when you play this game, you're gonna wonder why nobody's ever made a game like this before, like in terms of the control. And it really makes sense because, at first you just think, oh, it's so easy. You just touch the enemies you want to attack and blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of technique involved, and there's a lot of enemies coming at you really fast. So, being able to, it's not the hardest game in the world, but being able to effectively use your attacks helps.
But that's good. But that's good though. That's good. It's not like the typical Ninja Gaiden. It's really, really hard. And it's got to be. It's a portable game. It's for DS. It's going to skew younger. He's got to keep that crowd in mind. He's got to keep the demographic in mind. I'm glad he has.
A little bit of why it works is because it's a little forgiving. It's loose. So I think it might be not as easy to pull off with a really difficult game.
It just felt really good. The build I had was in Japanese, so I had no idea kind of how to start off, and I just right away kind of got into the groove and figured it out.
And everything feels like Ninja Gaiden, especially when you're in that mine shaft or whatever, and you have to do the flipping up the walls, and
which is awesome.
And it even though the controls are obviously different, it feels like Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about blocking because any button on the DS is a block button, which is kind of cool. Little things like how you use magic, you have to first fill in the symbol with the DS stylus, and then you kind of can control it like a fireball. You can kind of move it around the screen and stuff. I knew this game was gonna be all about control, and it totally, it's totally delivered on that angle.
And I like the presentation in Dragon Sword because the cutscenes they have all this really well done manga style art, and it's
childish, much younger age than.
Well, the main characters are drawn really well, but it's the kids. They're just drawn in a more conventional anime style, than previous Ninja Gaidens, obviously. like those little junctions where the camera zooms in on your character. The 3D models look really good, and when it zooms out, like one of the first levels you played had, you know, it was like kind of a river stage, and the water looked so cool.
That's like right where the game starts.
Yeah.
I mean, even like when you're fighting like this huge, gigantic boss, like it's really big. Nothing slows down. It's just as fast.
You have the storybook elements on the left screen, and you've got the action on the right screen. It all comes together really nicely. I think it's probably got better storytelling considerations than the actual Ninja Gaiden games themselves. It gels a lot better, and it feels more like a real story going on in Dragon Sword than, you know, I expect a lot out of my console stuff nowadays. But
That's true. You don't really expect story with the portable game as much, and it seems to have at least as much, if not more, than your traditional games.
yeah. Your new estimation is that, you know, for first-time players, it's going to take them about 8 hours to get through the game. You know, and there's going to be reasons to play through a second and maybe a third time. But you know, their original estimate was that it was going to be like 4 hours. So double that time. That means there's going to be a lot of stuff. And what we've already seen looks really good.
Coolest thing about this, seeing Ninja Gaiden on DS and seeing God of War on PSP,
Both in March.
Both in March improves that you can take a kick-ass action game, and if done right, you can put it on a portable system and make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're two excellent examples of, on two different systems, how you can make them work. You can translate them. So I think it's one of those games, genres you don't see done very well on a portable system.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting that you're finally seeing them on each system kind of right at the same time. And it's the first time I've ever really been excited about action games on portable.
Stuck on the bridge level too.
Yeah, those fucking furry bumblebees keep taking me out.
PixelJunk Monsters, right?
Yep.
All you had to do was say bridge level. Same level. I'm stuck in the same place.
Same one?
Exact same one.
Yeah, we both got stuck there over the weekend.
Oh, lovely.
Can't get past it.
I didn't think it was all that tough up until that level. And then, like, I redid it like 6 times in a row, and I just couldn't beat it.
It's interesting because I'll get like really stuck on a level, and then just something will click. Going back, it's like, wow, how did I ever have any trouble with this? This is fucking cake now.
Right.
Like
So
levels
there's
later.
definitely like a sense of progression, and like you're learning something as you go along.
I don't know, the thing about that level that's different, they threw more new gameplay ideas at you in that level than any other level before that.
First time that we saw tower defense kind of things was during Warcraft 3 mods. You know, I actually played tower defense and Warcraft 3 mods in general more than I played Warcraft 3, the core game online.
Right.
That style of gameplay is almost like it's its own genre. You know, there's desktop tower defense.
Right.
And now there's PixelJunk Monsters. I went home this weekend thinking, oh, you know, I'll play it all day Sunday or I'll play it all day Monday because, you know, it was the Martin Luther King holiday. So I was like, oh, I'll just play it all day and I'll beat it. And I didn't realize that it's actually really kind of hardcore.
Yeah.
Figuring out what towers to build in what order based off like the influx of enemies, the waves of enemies that come in, really is trial and error. It was like, you know, oh, okay, I got through 6 waves of this, but I totally screwed up my build in the beginning, and I don't have any of the right towers to defend against this particular kind of enemy, and boom, I'm dead. They wiped out all of my villagers.
When you get through the special level on easy, you get the run button, which just takes the game to a different level because you know, you're able to get around to where you need to upgrade your towers a lot faster. So who knows what kind of upgrades you'll be able to get once you get through the medium. Get these upgrade towers. If you can line up the laser tower correctly, it'll actually fire through every single one of the enemies in a row.
That's fine, just like smacking a handful of mosquitoes.
Exactly, this huge thunderclap. The first time it happened, I actually jumped because it is so different than from what you expect and what you've come to expect from the game.
And at first for the upgrades, I was kind of disappointed that you didn't just unlock them and then had those unlocked for the next level. I actually like that because once you're playing like the first couple are 10 rounds, then once you get into the 20 round levels, actually deciding which ones you want to wait for or spend your money on the interest that builds up, that gives you more coins per round.
Or even just shortcutting, upgrading your towers.
Yeah, it's like those, you only have like, you know, 4 or 5 decisions at any given time, but it's like you really have to figure out the right order to make them. And there's also a lot of subtlety, like visual subtlety to the game, I think. Like we noticed that some of the waves will give you a hint as to where the next wave is going to go.
Right.
Like you guys will go marching along a path and just kind of like start walking slightly towards a different path, but then go back on their path. But then you know that the next one is actually going to go there, so you got to start building there.
Yeah. Even though the 3 of us all got stuck at that same place, that bridge level, and we're still stuck on it and still trying to get past it, I don't feel like it's going to be insurmountable.
Right.
You know, I feel like, man, I just need to play that level a couple more times, because even though I played it 6 or 7 times, I got a little further each time.
A lot of times you'll play for so long that when you restart it, you kind of forget what the beginning strategy has to be to advance, so then you'll have a couple bad rounds again before you pick it back up.
So I wanted to try it co-op. So is it still like the same number of enemies and everything?
Do they?
Yeah, it's virtually identical. I mean, you had
it even like that would make it a lot easier.
You'd think, but
you share the same gem pool, but yeah, your money is separate. You'll be right at the brink of the next wave of guys, and you're both like 10 coins short of like building something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons they probably don't have an online co-op component because. As good as voice communication is online, there's nothing to compare talking to a person right next to you and being able to switch on the fly from actively building things and having the other person upgrade items to having someone run out and collect coins so they can build something that you're going to need for the next wave of enemies.
You can cover more ground because someone can be upgrading over here while someone else is like collecting the coins from the enemies that come, but you still have to like make your decisions perfectly together, otherwise it just doesn't work out.
The soundtrack, I loved it. I was just sitting there listening to the music like on the menu screen for like 5 or 10 minutes. And then I got into the game and I was doing the little dance, you know, to upgrade my tower, and I kind of got sidetracked listening to the music while I was doing that. I was like, oh shit, I should be building a tower.
Yeah, the art style is unique. At first I wasn't sure if I was a fan of it. It's sort of a European design with the Asian influence. But the graphics are simplistic, but they look good on any kind of display you throw at it. It looks good on an SD TV, looks gorgeous on a 1080p display. It even looks good playing remote play on your PSP, which actually worked pretty well considering that the controls are so simplistic. It's just one of those things where your character will be walking in a direction, he'll disappear for a second and end up, 5 steps further than you thought he was going to be. Which is annoying, but it's definitely still playable. And I think it's a cool feature, and hopefully we'll see more of that in the future. And even though I'm stuck, I'm still enjoying the game. And,
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know, Sony's done a good job of collecting a wide variety of games that they have on their service versus Xbox Live Arcade, which the games are great, but you kind of feel like there's a checklist for every game. It has to have online multiplayer, it has to have leaderboards, it has to have this, and this, and ultimately the experience sort of becomes homogenized, whereas if you look at Everyday Shooter and, of course, PixelJunk Monsters, PixelJunk Racers, these are very unique experiences that I don't think console gamers have had before. I'm still ready to go back and play some more. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, yeah, me too, definitely. We'll have to get together and do some co-op because I'm really interested in that. It sounds like it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, totally.
Rated T for Teen.
Sierra Entertainment proudly presents World in Conflict, the most intense strategy game ever created. 5 out of 5. Easily one of the best gaming experiences of 2007. GameSpy.com. 9.5 out of 10. GameSpot.com Editor's Choice. A PC Gamer Editor's Choice Award winner, 93%. IGN.com's 94% Editor's Choice. War is coming home. World in Conflict. Available now for the PC.
You gotta understand.
Yeah!